Hey, our next speaker is Bill McKay. Bill's going to be our first non-government representative here. He's a citizen. And Bill represents the Pelican Cove Condo Association, and he's going to highlight some aspects of the project at Pelican Cove. And I think you're going to see that Bill and his team down there are definitely part of the crew. Come on up, Bill.
Okay. You're going to help me out starting this show. Oh, okay. It's there. What's up? The arrow, eh?
Yeah, let's try that.
Okay. All right.
That one doesn't work, do the other one.
So, I'm Bill McKay. During the time that all this stuff happened, I was involved in governance at Pelican Cove. I was a board member. Then I was the board president. And now I run the Bay and Water Committee. And what this is all about is getting people to welcome, or at least at a minimum, accept change. No, I'm serious. This is the issue, okay? Anyway, this is Pelican Cove. We're in South Sarasota, down by the Westfield Mall. We got 731 units on Little Sarasota Bay. They're all wood frame, built in the late 70s, early 80s. We've hardened them as much as we can, but basically they could take a strong Category 1 hurricane. And no, I'm serious, that's it. But it is what it is. So we get some real problems, and let me back up a bit. What we have is, and it's very different than most places. These days when they build a development, they take everything down. I couldn't believe it the first time I saw it. I'm from New England. You just don't do that. But anyway, and cut every tree and make everything level and smooth, and then put all these crappy palm trees in. Pelican Cove was somebody's estate. And when they built it, they kept most of the trees, and trees are next to godliness in Pelican Cove. When I first moved down there, I got on the board and I fought for years. I kept saying, we gotta cut branches off the buildings. You just don't do it. You don't have branches overhang things. I lost. Even the grounds manager, we have our own ground staff and maintenance staff, fought me. It's just trees are trees. And let me tell you how stupid, no, I shouldn't say stupid, how much people do this. You all know that Melaleucas are an invasive species. Florida brought in some insects to control them, kill them, basically. What we did at Pelican Cove is we spent $10,000 a year injecting our Melaleucas so that they wouldn't die from the insects, okay? Anyway, so this is the kind of attitude. So how do you make changes in this kind of environment? And we really needed some serious changes. This place was overgrown. Nothing was coordinated. We're right on Sarasota Bay, and we're really vulnerable. So what happened is in 2016, a number of residents, not me, got the board of directors to sign a contract with the Southwest Florida Regional Planning Council to look into our vulnerabilities to climate change and recommend an adaptation plan. And this was done by a guy by the name of Jim Beaver. I don't know if any of you know him, but if any,
Jim Beaver, raise your hand.
he did a great job. And he worked with our residents, asked them questions, got input from everybody. And 7 or 8 months later, come up with a plan and presented it. The study cost us $20,000. It was probably the best thing that we've ever spent money on in a long, long time. And I say this as I was on the board then, and I was one of the people who was a real skeptic. I kept saying, yeah, okay. But that's what people wanted, and that's what we got. But what the study did is it gave us a roadmap. And we've been following that roadmap. And there were 6 or 7 categories, but the ones I'm talking about concern trees and understories. Shit, I'm supposed to be changing slides. I'm not real good at this. Okay. This was just to show you what Pelican Cove looks like. This is a pretty typical neighborhood.
Back to the mic, Bill.
Okay. Anyway. How can I be out of time? That isn't fair.
Just go ahead.
All right. Anyway.
You got a minute.
Jeepers. I tried this too. Okay. Anyway, so what we did is we had a plan. We spent a ton of time educating people, and the upshot is everybody said, "Well, gee, this is a nice plan, but I don't want. Are you really going to cut down our trees? It just nobody wanted to do anything." And what we decided to do is we had to show them some things. And what we did is we did a project along our bayfront. We ripped out the grass, replaced it with native plants, basically sunshine, mimosa, and purslane. And we did that in the yard. And the second thing that we did, this is bayfront, and this was a backyard that we changed from grass. And the other thing we did is we had an area of Australian pines on our main road. Irma knocked them all down, and we replaced it with sort of native species. And people could finally see what natives look like. It wasn't Miyaka State Park. It was kind of pretty. I'm not crazy about this. I don't like palm trees, but you know. So the upshot was people were finally willing to accept some change, and we got going on a number of things. The best thing that we got going on, and we did, is we managed to hire a new grounds manager, a professional who knew what he was doing. And these are the kinds of things we've been able to do. I mean, we've stopped using fertilizer. He says there's no reason to. We use irrigated. Well, no. It was a really practical thing. He said you use reclaimed water, and this stuff is loaded with nitrogen. You don't need any more. And we've already made a whole number of changes. And I got to tell you this.
Hey, Bill, we love you, man.
I want to.